Right, so as they said, my name is Miles. It hasn't always been that. I changed it about 5-6 years ago by default. Turns out to be quite fitting though, because of my long list of mental health disorders, I'm normally miles away from any social interactions. But how are you doing this month? You all having a good start to the year? Yeah. I'm having a fucking shit one. I've been banned from somewhere that I genuinely didn't think was humanly fucking possible. I got banned from my fucking barbers. I recently moved up to London about last year, so I needed to find myself a new one. And unbeknownst to me, I accidentally found myself one of these woke bullshit Gen Z barbers. So, because I've got social anxiety, I'm sat there and I'm preparing in my head the answer to the question I've been asked 100 times whenever I've gone to the barbers. Now, I sit down in the chair and the question leaves his mouth of, what are your pronouns? And I respond, short back and sides and a little off the top. This little wet crumpet Gen Z snowflake looked at me like I'd just invited him to a P. Diddy party. It didn't stop there, because he then had a follow-up question of, do I have consent to touch you? Bitch, did you go to fucking Hogwarts? Are you going to pull out a fucking wand, go Barnet Reducto on my fucking head and then that be done? And if you are that concerned, I identify as a comedian. My pronouns are ha-ha or he-he. Apparently, that wasn't an appropriate response and I got asked to leave. But, you know, I kind of appreciate him doing that rather than, say, a doctor doing that during an intimate procedure. Say, gents, we go for a prostate exam, women, you go for a smear test. You know, you walk into the doctor's office, you go, morning, doc, morning, Miles. So, first order of business, do I have consent to touch you? No, doc. I'm going to sit in the opposite fucking corner, see if you can do a prostate that way. You'll be there to tell if something goes in. And then, if you then follows that up with, you then bend yourself over the fucking table, trousers, boxes around your fucking ankles, you hear the snap of the glove, and then just from behind you hear from a grueling voice, what do you identify as? Fucking creeped out. I genuinely hate this new generation because they've ruined so much stuff for us now. Like, I think the number one thing that comes to mind is smoking. We haven't got any real smokers anymore. Give us a cheer in here if you fucking vape. Yeah. Right, just a little public service announcement. You realise you look like you're sucking on a droid's dick extension. No matter what fucking colour you have. Someone shout out what colour vape you got. What colour vape people got?
Silver.
Silver?
Marlboro red.
Red? You're sucking on Optimus Prime's dick. But no, genuinely, like, that's one of the things they've ruined. The second thing they've ruined ultimately is mental health. Like, they've ruined it because my grandparents, they had the best way of dealing with it by not believing in it. Genuinely, this is depression. Nah, he's just a sad cunt that doesn't want to leave the fucking house. Oh, is this ADHD that he's got? Nah, he's an attention seek jabbering little prick that won't shut the fuck up. Oh, is this a fucking eating disorder? Nah, he's just a fussy motherfucker who will only eat chicken nuggets and chips. And then obviously you've got our parents' generation and my generation, which dealt with it in two ways. We either divulged heavily into alcohol and drugs, and they consumed us, our personality, and then we all know how that fucking story goes. Or we get the best words of advice ever, cheer up, could be worse. My mum was the fucking queen for this, because you could go to her with any problem, but then she would just literally drastically drown that with a world catastrophe. Two little case in points. I remember once I was about 6-7 years old and she dragged my brother and I to Lapland. And I started complaining. I was like, Mum, I'm really cold, I don't like this. And she was like, cheer up, could be worse. You could be one of those rugby players that crashed on the Alps. Bit of a drastic change there, Mum. You dragged us here, they didn't want to be there. And also, I wouldn't be complaining, I'd offer myself up for food. And the second time I remember, I was about 16, 17, and I just lost my first job, and it really hit me hard. I didn't know how to take it, and I went to her, I was like, Mum, I've lost my job, I really cared about it, do you think I'll be able to get it back? And I spoke to her, and she was like, cheer up, could be worse. You could have been employed at the World Trade Center. Again, two major differences there. They can get their job back the next day. I could. And secondly, for that to have happened, I would have had to have been 4 years old. And obviously, you get the new generation, they treat mental health as a game. You know, like, you can get to a fucking point in these days where you lose your job and you get really depressed, you go to your mate and I've been feeling depressed for the last 5-6 days, and instead of them turning around and telling you to cheer up, could be worse, they'll just turn around and go, same! I've been depressed for a week! Really? Because last night you was on Snapchat living your hashtag best life, looking like Hitler had rolled around in the snow, and when it came to your jaw, I'd seen less swinging when it came to a golf driving range. I'm not ashamed to admit this though, my mental health is in fucking tatters, to the point where the other day I cried at a bowl of shreddies, simply because I didn't check if I had any milk first. Cue a 20-minute tsunami of tears from a 27-year-old at 11 o'clock in the morning. That is then interrupted by my best friend calling me, and I love him to pieces because he genuinely has the mindset of Neil from In-Betweeners. Never quite know what's going to come out of his mouth. So I call it, so he calls me and I pick up the phone and, you know, he asks me why I'm fucking crying, tell him, and he goes, firstly, stop crying like a little bitch or use those tears to moisturise your shreddies. And secondly, cheer up, could be worse, you could be a T-Rex employed as a hotel bed maker. I actually love my best mate's mindset because I never know what's going to fucking come out of it. Just before Christmas, genuinely, he turned around to me in the middle of night, like apropos of nothing, we're sat on his sofa, he turns around and goes, yeah, did you know? Men's testicles technically have taste buds, so they can tell if something's spicy. Cheers, mate, I'll remember that next time I'm at a curry house and going to Tandoori next year. You know, I'll order myself a jalfrezi, and before I start eating, I'll just, you know, get the boys out and... Yeah, that's a bit spicy, you know, I would have made myself look like a right cunt if I hadn't done that. And secondly, what if your balls can handle a spicier curry than you? Like, my brother gave me this bit of information needlessly about 2 years ago. I'm 1/18th Indian. I don't know what I'm meant to do with that information. I guess it means I can enjoy 1 in 18 curries without violently shitting myself. And after that little bit of information about my testicles having taste buds and knowing that, I can tell you now, curry number 14 was not the one I enjoyed. And just one little final thing I want to leave on to do with my best mate's mindset is we went to the O2 again last year, had a very productive year last year. I went to the O2 last year and went to go see a concert, got searched, took a man bag with me because I'm a chav, but it was Louis Vuitton, so class. But got searched and turned around, offered me to search my man bag, turned around and said no, which I found quite alarming considering the fact that we've been on Amber Alert for terrorism for the last 5 years. So he's clearly looked at me and thought, I don't look that terrifying, if I do have a blade on me, this depressive cunt's going to hurt himself. I also slightly had the thought process of, maybe he's doing an inside job. But we carried on through. I had my kidney fucking removed so we could buy drinks, buy snacks, merchandise, because we were cheap fucks that bought tickets all the way up into fucking heaven. And then once we find our seats, I divulged this information to my mate that I didn't get searched, and that was really bad because I could have bought in, you know, fucking tequila, drugs for myself, drugs for someone else. Without missing a beat, he turns around and looks at me and goes, yeah, you could have bought in acids, grenades, a blade. You could have really fucked this place up. I was like, mate, you cannot be saying shit like that. And he went, cheer up, could be worse. I could have said this at the Manchester Arena.